So anyway, so he's just saying, oh, the media is filled with these really wonderful people who are just telling the truth. And I, at a certain point, said, well, I'm sorry, but I got to say there's a lot of evidence that flies in the face of this idea. And I quickly brought up the WikiLeaks information that CNN had given Hillary Clinton debate questions in advance, that the DNC was working for Hillary Clinton the whole time. I mean, I said the idea that these news organizations don't have their own opinions, don't have their own, their own agenda is incredibly naive. Anyway, there were a few things that really stuck out to me about this interaction. Number one, I think I've tried to touch on this before, but the mainstream media, their take, there's a lot of mocking and patronizing of what they label to be conspiracy theorists. This happens a lot in mainstream media. They kind of chalk people up to be a conspiracy nut or a conspiracy theorist. Basically means you're a kook. But the more you realize whenever these topics are discussed, the mainstream media, they are conspiracy theorists every bit as much as Alex Jones is. They are like equal opposite conspiracy theorists. It's very interesting, okay? So where Alex Jones will theorize that everything the government does has an evil mwahaha master behind it, right? Like a puppet master mwahaha behind every act. If the government sprayed some chemical in the air, they're like, they're trying to poison our kids, and this is what they do. They're turning the frogs into communists. It's all that type of shit, like no matter what. But the mainstream media has the exact opposite projection or theory, if you will. So every time they talk about, even an anti-war guy in the mainstream media always has to be like, now Dick Cheney's a good man, I would never question his integrity, but blah 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 blah. So basically, and this is what starts to come. So the conspiracy on Alex Jones' part is that the government is this evil, there's kind of this evil cabal. These people are ripping you off. They're lying to you. They're always, there's always something behind every turn. And the mainstream conspiracy is that these are really good, honest people who are always doing the truth. And then there's this group of people who are conspiring to trick you into thinking that they are these bad guys. The more you get into it, you're like, they are both conspiracy theorists. And then you got to almost sit back and go, wow, what they're asking you to believe is like 10 times more unrealistic than what Alex Jones is asking you to believe. And it's weird because I don't believe a lot of the Alex Jones shit. But it's so he starts right away as he goes so I said the thing about CNN and I think he responded with he goes that did not look good for CNN, I'll tell you that. And I go, what do you mean didn't look good? Not look good, they cheated. I'm sorry, man. I know I've said this a few times before, but I try to hammer this home. If nothing, how much does that expose the mainstream media? Forget whether I'm right or they're right. But if the narrative that they're telling you is true, like these are really good, honest people who all, wouldn't the reaction to that coming out be more of a thing? I mean, no one even cares. Like, for as much as they're like, oh my God, Russia might have feared with the democratic process, this precious, precious democratic process. Well, what's a pretty big part of the democratic process in America, let's be honest, is the presidential debates. I mean, that's a really, really central part of it. And CNN fucking gave Hillary Clinton questions. That's such a big, if they were telling the truth, this is such an epic failure of their most basic responsibility. This is a big part of the reason why people see through the mainstream media as complete bullshit. It's not just because these things come out, it's their reaction when they come out. Like, if you guys weren't all full of shit, this would be like when Brian Williams comes out and is this big liar, you're like, holy shit, dude, this is crazy. You're a liar. Our whole job is being honest. Get out of here. But they all still revere him. No one's got a problem.